Hello and welcome to Indian Standard Time. I'm Siddharth Vardarajan and my guest today is the Deputy Foreign Minister of Argentina, Senor Eduardo Zuian. Welcome to Rajya Sabha TV and to this program.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm very happy to be in India. It's my first time, but I'm very happy. Very.
Now, obviously, you've had meetings with Indian officials, Indian leaders during your visit here. Tell us something about the push that you are making or that Argentina is making for the bilateral relationship with India right now.
Okay, my first aim and principal aim to visit India is to strengthen the relation with this important country. Argentina has the political will to arrive at a strategic relation with India. India is a key country, not only in this region, it's a key country in the world. We have many common things. We have many possibilities to expand our bilateral relation, especially in political fields, but also in commercial fields. So this is my aim, to visit him and to explore any possibility to strengthen this relation.
Right. One of the issues that's very important for the Argentine government right now, recently President Kirchner has commemorated the days of sovereignty of Argentina over the Malvinas Islands. These are islands which Argentina says it belongs to itself. The British contest this. They call them the Falklands Islands. Tell us, for the benefit of our viewers, a little bit of the background of this dispute and why Argentina believes that the Malvinas belong to it.
Okay, it's very important to make a short explanation about the problem. During 1933, a British army took this island. This island was in near the continent, South American continent. In this island, there were
closest to Argentina.
Very close to Argentina. This island were Argentinian authority and Argentinian population. The British Army arrived and expulsed the population, Argentinian population, and the authority, Argentinian authority, and implanted British population. It's a typical case of colonialism, a typical case of imperialism. So, since this moment, Argentina began to claim to come back the island to our sovereignty. Now we have more than 42 United Nations resolutions, 42 United Nations resolutions to establish that United Kingdom and Argentina must negotiate, sit and negotiate about the future of the island, about the sovereignty of the island. But United Kingdom, this is a founder of United Nations, refused. But up to now, it's not only national aim in Argentina. It's not only a national aim of Argentina. It's Latin American aim. All Latin American countries support Argentina, but not only Latin American, African countries, Asian countries that supporting Argentina in the effort to negotiate with the United Kingdom about the sovereignty of the island. As you know, in the United Nations, there are 17 cases of territories, 17 territories of colonization to be descolonized.
Yes.
Right, yeah. 10 of them belong to United Kingdom, and we are open to negotiate with the United Kingdom, but the United Kingdom refused to negotiate. But it's not only the problem of sovereign dispute, territorial dispute, it's also a problem of natural resources.
Right. Before I come to that, now, it is a fact that the British, during the 60s, perhaps in the 70s too, in early 70s, had engaged in dialogue with Argentina about how these islands could be returned. That process has, the British say, cannot be revived because of the invasion or the armed effort by General Galtieri in the 80s to recover the Malvinas Islands. To what extent is that act of war by Argentina at the time in the 80s an obstacle today? When the British say that, look, we can't talk because we fought a war over this, British soldiers died. To what extent is that a legitimate argument that the British make?
It's very important to establish that this war was a case but a military dictatorship in Argentina. It's not the decision of the Argentinian people.
That's right.
But the very important fact is that since the end of the war, Argentinian diplomacy managed to re-establish the question in United Nations, re-establish the question in diplomatic fields.
Okay. So the war did not affect the status of the Malvinas
No.
Islands as a territory to be decolonized in the UN system?
No, because the great majority of the countries of the world understood in this moment that the war was caused by the military dictatorship.
Right.
A
dictatorship that the Argentine people themselves opposed.
Yes. But it's very important also to say to you that in our constitution, in our national constitution in Argentina, established that the island will come back to the territory, the integrity territory of Argentina by diplomatic channels, by negotiation for peace. So the dispute is not territorial dispute, it's also natural resources.
Okay.
The British government let a few companies to explore oil and gas in the sea surrounding the islands. And this is an illegal measures. So we are protesting, and we are using a criminal code to put before the trials at the executive of this company that they are exploring oil and gas in our sea.
So these are multinational executives who have acted on a British invitation to explore oil and gas in the waters of the Malvinas Islands.
This is an illegal, because the natural resources belong to the Argentinian people, not to the British people. Another aspect of this question is the militarization of the island. Argentina is a peaceful country. We want to come back the island by diplomatic channel, but the United Kingdom, they are militarized the island. Do you know the Islander, they are only 1,200, and there are 1,000 soldiers.
Right.
So is the territory, militarized territory in the world, is a threat to South America, this important military base. And we connect this situation with the military and industrial military complex in United Kingdom, because there are many money, the British government spent many money to maintain this military base.
How do you respond to the British argument that the future of the islands must be settled by the wishes of the islanders themselves?
Okay, I want to explain you an example. I took your house and expulsed you and put my family. And after this, I asked my family if they want to remain in this house or not. This is the same situation. The population in the island is a British population implanted by British
After
Army.
1933.
Yes, 1833. So,
1833.
They are the descendants,
yes.
But not the majority of the islanders descendants of the implanted population, the British population. They are British population, the other colonies of British Empire. So the problem is not with the Islander. We respect the way of life of the Islander, the language, the institution, all. The problem is between United Kingdom and Argentina. It's a sovereignty dispute. It's not about the population of the island.
Right.
It's not a case of self-determination, because the Islander is not the original population. It's a population implanted. So then again, I took your house, put my family, and after this, asked my family if they are very happy in your house, if decided to remain in your house. It's a very ridiculous position of United Kingdom.
And tell us the status of your efforts to engage in a diplomatic dialogue with the British on the future of the Malvinas Islands. What's the British response been?
Yes, but the United Kingdom refused to dialogue with Argentina.
So they simply will not talk about this?
It's a very curious case also, very curious position, because if you analyze the position of the Foreign Office about the many conflicts all over the world,
yes.
They established that the dialogue is necessary, but except in Malvinas Island.
Right. And the rights of the islanders, they don't apply that argument for Diego Garcia or the Chagos Islanders.
Yes, it's a very important example. Also, the Chagos Island and the Diego Garcia's Island, the same name.
Very close. I mean,
very close in India.
That's right.
This British colony and the British Empire expelled this population without asking nothing, expelled this population to establish a military base there. And the other example is Hong Kong. In Hong Kong, United Kingdom is a former British colony, but United Kingdom didn't ask the population if they want to come back to China or not.
Right.
They decided without asking nothing.
Right.
So it's not a complex. We don't understand.
Right. Moving away from the Malvinas issue, there's been a considerable progress in the last decade or so in the field of Latin American integration.
Yes.
We've seen well, the OAS always existed for
Yes.
North and South America, but you have the UNASUR, you have ALBA, you have CELAC.
Yes.
Are these formations largely of a political character, or has there been any success in integrating the economies of the Latin American and the Caribbean region?
Okay. Well, it's very important to say to you that Latin America now we are living a very interesting moment, because since 10 years ago we are enjoying a political integration in many mechanisms. The more important is UNASUR, is a meeting of all South American countries. CELAC is a meeting of all Latin American countries. And Mercosur is a meeting between Argentina, Brazil, Venezuela, Uruguay, Paraguay. This mechanism is a political integration, but also we have the other aim is to integrate in the future in economic integration. For instance, Mercosur. Mercosur is not only political integration, it's also commercial and economic integration. It's true that the political integration is more easy to do.
Right.
No? And the political integration help to our countries to consolidate our democracy.
Right.
Now, Latin America is a continent that all countries will have democracies. But economic integration, in the case of Mercosur, commercial and economic integration, is more difficult, and we make advance, but it's not so fast as political integration, right, because we have to integrate our economy. And we want to integrate our economies without producing unemployment, for instance. So we have to analyze any step that decided to do, but we are in the path to arrive to economic and commercial integration in Mercosur, and UNASUR, the meeting of South American country, and CELAC, the meeting of Latin American country, we have the far aim to arrive in the future also a political, economic and commercial integration.
Right.
But not only, as other acts of the foreign affairs, foreign policy in Argentina, is to integrate with other key countries all over the world. We have a strategic relation with China, a strategic relation with Russia, and we have the will to arrive to a strategic relation with India also.
Right.
We think that is very important, the South-South dialogue.
Have these efforts led to some rebalancing of Latin America's relationship with the United States as a result? Is the American ability to treat Latin America as a backyard,
yes,
has that come down as a result of all of these growing integration plans?
Yes, but we have a very important dialogue with the United States. But the things are changed, because now we feel that we are independent country, and we have mature dialogue with the United States. We have things in common, as the democracy, the fight against terrorism, the nuclear no proliferation aspect. We have very important dialogue with the United States, and we have the field that we are not agree. So, but we have a mature dialogue. We feel in Latin America that we are independent country.
Right.
I want to assimilate the dialogue between India and the United States.
Right. Right. We are having our conversation today in the midst of the Greek financial crisis,
yes,
the whole issue of Greece defaulting, yes, the Greek creditors making all kinds of demands on the Greek government and the Greek people. Argentina has some experience in this regard.
Yes.
You defaulted in 2001.
Yes.
That led to severe deflation or crisis within the Argentine economy. And of course, last year and this year you've had problems with creditors largely stemming from the demands of vulture capital
Yes.
funds. Tell us something about the current status of your talks with your creditors.
Okay. The title of this question is that the world needs a new financial architecture. Not look for to the speculation, but look for the production. The financial fields must help the country to produce and to develop country, not to financial speculation.
Right.
No? This is the title of the question. I want to express our solidarity with the Greek people and the Greek government because they are suffering the same thing that Argentina suffered in the past. The external debt must be treated in order to help the country to develop, because if the country become a developed country, can pay the debt. If the country go down, in the economy of the country goes down, it's not possible to pay the debt. Nestor Kirchner, former president in Argentina, used to say that the debt people cannot pay the debt. The debt people cannot pay the debt, the external debt. So the system must help the country to pay the debt, not to force the country that the economy goes down. Right. and put the Greek people at the doors of the misery. It's not the solution of the questions, but there are many important interests. Right. The International Monetary Funds, the World Bank, is the solution that they are giving our countries is not the right solutions, but not only in the theory. It's not a solution in the facts. Argentina is a very important example that is this solution that
of austerity.
Yes, austerity. Yeah. It's not the right path. Argentina also is. We have a very important fight against vulture funds, because Argentina, after the very deep crisis in 2001, as you said, arrived a very important agreement with the 94% of the creditors, a very important agreement. And Argentina, we are paying the debt to this 94% of the creditors. 1% of the other creditors that they didn't accept this agreement, they went to the American justice to claim the other type of agreement. And we are fighting against this decision. Because
so what's the current status of
the current state that Argentina, we are paying our debt, we are respect the agreement, we are paying our debt, and we are fighting not to pay the total debt, because if we want to make the accountability, I will demonstrate to you that Argentina paid the external debt many times, not one time, many times.
Right.
Because the system is look for the speculation. So interest to interest to interest to interest to interest. Right. And we arrived at the point, as in this time, Greek people, Greek government, they arrived at this point that it's impossible to pay.
Yeah, I mean, people are describing in Greece the choice in the forthcoming referendum as a choice between whether the Greek people themselves will decide their political future, yes, or a set of bankers and, yes, creditors.
Yes, and now we are discovering the advantage of the global system, of the globalization, because Greek people know very well now the Argentine experience.
Right.
So they imagine the end of this crisis.
Right. One of the predictions being made is that if the crisis carries on in Greece and Greece is forced to leave the Eurozone, this would lead to tremendous dislocation of the Greek economy. Now, Argentina has some experience. I mean, it wouldn't be fair to compare the euro with the currency board that you had with the US, but Argentina did not suffer from the readjustment when you abandoned the currency board with the dollar, did it?
No, because we're the rich country, yeah, and after this big crisis, when Nestor Kirchner arrived to the president of my country, we decided to develop our country, to decided to promote economic growth after the default. And my government showed all before all over the world that when you let the country grow, economic growth, the country can pay the debt. So Argentina is a very important example that what we have not to do about the solution to pay the debt, and it's a very important example what we have to do to not to suffer and to resolve the crisis.
Right. How important is energy and shale gas for the future direction of the Argentine economy? I know that you're not the finance minister or the energy minister, but shale is important, increasingly important for you.
Yes, Argentina will have the second reserve of the shale and oil gas in the Patagonia, in the south of the country. It's a very important.
So this is the second largest reserve in the
world.
Second
largest reserve. Second largest reserve. So it's very important for our development. We want to become an industrial country to develop. We know as India, India is a good example for us that if you want to develop your country, if you want the welfare to your people, it's very important the industrial development. We want to deep our industrialization. For this industrialization, it's very important oil and gas also.
And you have access to all the fracking technologies and so on?
Yes, yes. We are beginning the process because it's a large reserve. It's a large, very large. So we are beginning the process. There are many investors that decided to go to. They are very important prospect. Very important prospect. Many, for instance, coming back to Malvinas. Many very important companies all over the world decided not to invest in Malvinas to preserve the possibility to invest in the continent.
Right. In fact, the Indian oil company, OVL, also was invited to explore oil and gas off the Malvinas, and they refused to go.
Yes, because the great opportunity is not in Malvinas Island, but it's in the continent. In other parts of Argentina, this is the continent.
Right. There is one issue that we're running out of time, and last couple of minutes I want to put to you, which has to do with India and Argentina.
Yes.
We agree on perhaps a large number of issues internationally.
Yes.
One area where we don't agree is on the question of United Nations Security Council reform. India wants the number of permanent seats to be expanded and for India to be part of that. We have worked together with Brazil, Japan and Germany in the so-called G4. Now, Argentina doesn't share that view. You have a different view.
Well, I want to put you other title of the question.
Okay.
You're
the diplomat, I'm the journalist.
in this situation, in this structure of United Nations, is served to resolve the international crisis or not? This is the question.
Okay.
In this structure of the United Nations, in the point of view from Argentina, we think that it's not useful to resolve the crisis. Look the crisis in Syria, look at the crisis in Iraq, look the crisis of the immigrants that they want to arrive from Africa to Europe. Look the question of Malvinas. The United Nations structure now is not useful to resolve fast and efficiently the international crisis. So we have to think in another structure. The right of veto in the Security Council is not useful. It's not useful to resolve any questions, because if you propose something that the other country to write the veto don't want, it's put the veto.
Right.
So, and now there are other questions. Many countries is thinking about the future veto of one of the country. Yes, they abstain to propose nothing, because we think that this country will put the veto, will use the right of the veto. So the question is, United Nations managed to resolve the crisis or not? We think that we have many problems. Argentina, we have a very important commitment with the United Nations. We are participating in all mechanisms in United Nations. If you want to, if you go to United Nations and explore any mechanism, you will discover an Argentine people there, because we are a very important commitment. We love United Nations. We want United Nations. So we want to become better United Nations. And we think that the right of veto is not a sufficiently instrument to resolve the crisis.
So even if India and Argentina don't agree on specific proposals for reform, at least you share the perception that the structure of the UN, the way it is today, perhaps does not accurately reflect the democratic distribution of power in the world.
Yes. We think that it's not democratic structure.
Right.
But this is the principal problem for us. It's not a democratic... again, Malvinas. United Kingdom, if Argentina wants to resolve the crisis through United Nations, it's not possible.
Well, on that note, Eduardo Zuian, thank you very much for joining us on Rajya Sabha TV.